most things that are beautiful in life and have real value are hard to describe. You have to experience it, and no words can really do it justice.
When I describe it to people, I say it's not like your normal gym. There's no machines, it's like a little community. It's like a little family where we exercise as well.
The word gym feels like a slight misnomer for it. It sort of feels like a way of describing it in a way that might be recognizable, but that actually it's more like a kind of community centered around movement, around exploring movement, exploring the possibilities of the body moving from a number of different perspectives and different approaches and disciplines and movement type practices that maybe aren't exceed disciplinary categories.
Usually when you say to somebody, "Oh, I'm going to the gym," they always say the same thing. It's kind of, "Oh, what are you going to do at the gym? Is it weights or is it machines?" You know, in their mind they've got a very stereotypical view of what a gym is. And when you say, "Oh, well, it's kind of, there's not really anything in the place I'm going. We're just kind of moving around on the floor," they look at you kind of, "What's this guy on about?"
I love how it's such a unique place. The community, Colin, the coach, is absolutely fantastic. He's very supportive. You can see progressions and development in so many different skill sets, in handstands and doing things on the rings and sort of gymnastics sort of movements. So it's nice to feel like you're making progress and improving and developing new skills.
A lot of people view it as like either a CrossFit gym or like a calisthenics gym, and I say it's kind of those things, but it's kind of also blurring the lines between a lot of different disciplines, because I know because I teach handstands, and there's classes on stretching and there's a lot of classes on movement, so I think there's a lot of crossover between like dance and movement and strength through body weight and different means. There's even like Metcon here, which is with weights, but we tend to do stuff with body weight. So it's all about experimenting. And when I tell someone about it, I'm like, it's a gym where we just play.
So I started the movement classes after Colin came in for his haircut, and I got to know him a bit. Mainly because I've been diagnosed with osteoporosis, and so I suppose the initial thing was to be careful of my bones, but then I thought, really, I need to really strengthen my bones. After 2 years of doing the movement classes and the calisthenics classes, I had another bone scan and my bone density had increased by 16%. So I went from osteoporosis to a condition called osteopenia, which is just slightly above osteoporosis. So I got out of the osteoporosis. So that's how I ended up loving my gym.
This literally every time I come here I feel like I came back home, because first time I came here I've been coming just every day for like 6 months maybe, literally every day. I haven't missed a day. So I've gotten to know a lot of people here and they became like close friends of mine. So it's really good to be back. It's not very different than what I'm taking in the circus school, but certainly the people is what they're the one who make it different.
I suppose handstands is the current thing I'm most focused on, and that's because there is a mental side to it as well as physical, which I didn't appreciate. So it's giving me something to think about. There's parts of your body you're trying to control in a way you hadn't previously. So it's keeping you mentally engaged as well as physically. It's definitely working muscles you do not ordinarily use. Strengthening your back. For a while I had problems with my back which haven't disappeared, but it's in a better place. So there's all these different movements. It's like a puzzle in a sense, trying to solve them, working out how to move a part of your body without collapsing the whole thing. And I just thought it was just balancing on your hands and you're done. Much more than that, and I like that sort of challenge. So anything where there's a challenge, that's my favourite thing.
Things that I've learned here, I'm thinking how I should be holding my shoulders straight. I should be, because you get a really bad posture and stuff. You see people walking around like hunched forward, and you think, no, I don't want to let my back do that. I need to keep my body straight. I need to move properly. I need to use my glutes and my abdominals, and you know, I think about it all the time now. It's mindfulness as well. It builds mindfulness about your body, doesn't it?
We're giving people the tools to expand their creative knowledge. So it's not just a case of come and do and then see you next week. It's, you know, like you said before, you see people coming in and they're actually doing what you taught them the week before. And that's really nice to see. And you can see it through the people that have been here for years, or even months. The changes in people's bodies and how they move is just, it's why we do it. It's why I do it anyway. It's a pleasure to see, and I think that's what keeps me going.
If I'm doing something and it feels too easy, for instance, like as in if I feel like if I train for another week I'll get this, it doesn't interest me. I move on, something else. I want something more difficult, more, even if it means, you know, it's at times upsetting because you feel like you put a lot of time into something and you feel like you're just not getting that, closer to where you want to be. That's upset. It's like sometimes at times that's hard, but that's the way I want it. If something is too accessible, like, is that word? Like, it doesn't interest me at all.
I think the two big things for us are education and community. Or you could say movement, education and community. So, like for example, for someone to walk through that door, our aim really is to improve their practice, their movement practice, whether they're from beginner level or more advanced. And I suppose to expand their potential, whether that's from a physical side or a physiological side. What's been drilled into my head is that if you are satisfied with your movement, you are, can I say shitty? Movement practitioner. Okay? So you can't be, I think, I never get too comfortable. If I'm too comfortable, I need to move on. So I'm constantly challenging myself with new things. I'm working on something at the moment. I have to dedicate almost 15 hours a week to that one thing. But at the same time, have to maintain my other practice as well. So it's like I'm making sacrifices in my life to get to this one thing, but I don't want to move too far into that one thing where other things suffer. So I'm constantly challenging myself and never winning. Don't want to win. You know, it's a constant battle. You know, my teacher says, if you get used to that toy and you get comfortable with that toy, I'm going to take that toy off you and give you a new toy to play with. So it's a constant, you know, I don't want to say you never succeed, because it's just a constant battle, it's a constant challenge.
Once you start discovering that there is no limit to what's possible. Like, there is no limit to what's possible. If you are prepared to work hard, put time into it, then the sky is the limit.
I don't think about movement, and as cheesy as this might sound, I think we are movement. We're always in movement. We never stop moving. You know, it's like Ido Portal talks about the shirt pull technique. You know, you move your thumb, it affects your pelvis. You blink, it affects your big toe. And, you know, we're always in movement, so why not explore other possibilities? You know? It's like our slogan is move because you can. You don't need a reason to move, just move because you can.